Welcome back to Kitchen Collection, a debate show regarding what appliance or utensil you prefer to use in the kitchen each day. I'm your host, Audra Turkey Baster. See what I did there? Today I'm going to be joined by Taylor Neal, better known as T. Neal, along with Matt Sagai, where everyone just calls him by his last name. Thanks, guys, for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
First up, big controversy over the consumption of coffee. Everyone knows that America runs on Dunkin', but we would like to also have a cup of Joe in the morning every now and again. So my biggest question is whether you prefer the Keurig coffee maker or the traditional coffee pot. Matt, let's start with you.
Now, Audra, it's got to be the Keurig. You know, founded in 1998, this beautiful machine produces over 60 brands of coffee. But not only does it produce coffee, it produces things like hot chocolate and tea as well. And myself, I'm not a big coffee drinker, so this machine appeals to me in that much of a way because of its versatility, unlike the coffee pot.
I will say that it is very versatile. But I have to go with the OG coffee maker in honor of the OG T. Neal, my father. I mean, it's just got the best taste in the world. It's unparalleled, unmatched. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
I mean, one big question that I kind of have with this is that the Keurig is always like, you pop the K-Cup in the Keurig and it's ready to go, and that's fast and efficient. But would you rather ground the coffee every morning to make sure it's ready to go?
Well, most coffee makers nowadays, they have a preset where you can, before you go to bed, you set it for a 7 o'clock, 7:15, whenever you're waking up in the morning, and it's going to be ready to make, or be already made, when you're getting out of bed ready for work. I mean, and plus the coffee pot, it can make up to 3, 4, 5 cups more than just one person. The Keurig can only make one at a time. You know, it's not as efficient as a coffee pot.
Now listen, Taylor, I don't know about you, but I'm a very busy man, so when I wake up in the morning, I like to just place my K-Cup under there, have the Keurig do all of its magical work, and just go about my day. Maybe I'll shower while my coffee's making.
The coffee pot does the same thing in the preset.
You know, but you got to grind the beans and then
you do it the night before.
What do you? I'd rather watch TV, lay on my couch, and just, not have to worry about what I'm going to be drinking in the morning. When I can wake up, get a little Starbucks, little packet. Starbucks, greatest coffee place in the world, and then just put my K-Cup in.
Do you feel guilty at all that the K-Cups are kind of hurting the environment? I mean, I certainly care about it.
No, because they're recyclable. They're recyclable.
What about the aluminum foil lid? That's certainly not recyclable.
Well, you don't have to recycle it, right away. It's reusable.
All right, guys. So. All right, we're going to switch it up to a utensil this time. Will a spoonful of sugar get us to this fork in the road that we have here? Fork or spoon? Taylor, you're up first.
Tough choice, but I think I'm going to go with the spatula. I mean, growing up, I watched a lot of SpongeBob, and that guy just flips those patties like no one's business. Boom, bang, in and out, 2 minutes. But all jokes aside, I'm going to have to go with a fork. I mean, it really helps you cut your steak. I mean, you can't really cut your steak with a spoon. It helps you pick up things. It's more stable when eating food. I mean, we are carnivores. You're going to eat more meat than vegetables, so to speak.
Well, there are plenty of vegans in the world as well, Taylor. And, it's got to be the spoon, Audra, something that a fork can't do. You can't eat, soup with a fork and soup.
Serve return,
one of America's greatest pastimes, And then, all of your desserts, I mean, ice cream, cake, spoon is the way to go. It just scoops up, that frosting, the little melted ice cream at the bottom of the bowl. You can't do that with a fork.
You can actually eat it with a fork, and certainly you can just pick up that bowl and just put it right to those lips.
That's barbaric.
Barbaric. Come on. We evolved from cavemen. We got a little barbaric down deep inside, don't you think?
Evolve, and now that's why we have the spoon to just make us look more professional.
Actually, the fork is older than the spoon.
All right, guys. One other question is, if you're going to be eating mac and cheese per se, what would you rather do? Get a spoonful of it, or kind of take it bit by bit of macaroni?
I'm going to have to go with the fork. I mean, everyone knows if you wolf that mac and cheese down in about 2 minutes, your stomach's feeling a little bloated, you're a little uneasy, you're kind of not feeling right. So I think I'm going to take my time with the fork, kind of enjoy it, maybe put a little sprinkle Parm cheese on it. I don't know. Yeah,
Taylor, I like a little hot sauce on my mac and cheese. And, my hot sauce, when it's at the bottom of the bowl, I want to kind of scoop it up and get it, flavorful with the cheese. And with a fork, I can't do that because it just seeps right through.
All right, Matt, moving on to the last question. We're going to end it with the biggest one that everybody technically always asks each other. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Matt, let's start with you.
Now, obviously, it's got to be the egg, because without the egg, there would be nothing for the chicken to hatch out of. And Taylor, when you talk about, this from religious purposes, I mean, God created the egg to lay the chicken, and, without the egg, there's no chicken.
I think your logic might be a little flawed there, Matt. I mean, the chicken would lay the egg, not the other way around. I think if God put something on the earth first, it would be the chicken to lay the egg.
You can't just create a chicken and just place it down there.
Why not? He created Adam and Eve, and Adam and Eve are much more complex than just a little baby chicken, right?
But the baby chicken, has to grow. So the chicken hatches from the egg at which it was born from. and then it grows into the chicken that it eventually becomes.
You telling me this. What animal laid a different egg that would hatch into a different species? Because I can't think of anything.
Well, you're telling me this. Did God take the chicken and just toss it from the sky right down to earth and just say, listen,
he
how
did with everything
how did he
else.
know to hatch the eggs that then created more chickens?
He's a smart guy. How did you know that Adam and Eve would have another baby and the world would just spawn into 7 billion people, and now here we are today?
All right, guys. Well, I think it's going to be one of those things that it's going to be up to our viewers to decide what came first, the chicken or the egg. Well, that wraps it up for us here at Kitchen Collection. After the break, the OG T-Meal and B-Meal will be back, but this time whether they prefer a toaster or a toaster oven in the Meal Kitchen. Stay with us.